Stem cells. Let's talk about it. So stem cells, I've been interested, and I just feel like the clock is ticking, and now I'm getting to a point where my stem cells are no longer as good as they used to be. But the idea of banking stem cells and harvesting stem cells from whether it's bone marrow or elsewhere, so that you can use them later.
So that's one thing, yeah. Actually, I just recently banked some stem cells of my own.
You did?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Thanks for doing it publicly. I'm 35.
Okay, all right. So around 36. I think I've done a lot more damage to myself. You look a lot younger.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I look exactly my age or older. I felt like, I guess there has to be a benefit to doing it compared to, like, what better time than now, I guess. It would have been better, I assume, if I'd done it some time ago. How did you bank your stem cells?
Well, so there's a variety of different ways you can bank your stem cells. Cord blood is one, which I didn't.
Yeah.
That was up to my parents. They didn't do that when that happened, so I'm kind of screwed there.
I would have been really impressed if they pulled that off.
I would have been really impressed.
Ahead of their time.
Yeah. So the wisdom teeth have. So I had impacted wisdom teeth.
What does impacted mean?
Well, they're coming in crooked and they're hurting.
Right.
So I had to have them removed. And there's dental. I started doing all this reading. I was like, if I have to get these mother removed, there's got to be some positive thing to it. So I started reading, and I found out that there's dental pulp stem cells in the teeth.
I have all my stem cells. I have all my wisdom teeth.
Do you? Okay, so let me continue.
Yeah.
So there's dental pulp stem cells.
This is crazy.
I'm on top of it. Dude.
Right.
So there's dental pulp stem cells in your wisdom teeth that can, because they're from a mesenchymal origin, which means they can form bone, they can form cartilage, they can form, teeth eventually.
Yeah.
So they can also be sort of coerced if you have the right stromal cells and like stuff around to neuro type of populations, neuronal type of populations. And what I found, studies where they've took human wisdom, so they extracted wisdom teeth from humans, took out the dental pulp stem cells, and then they did mice where they had spinal cord damage, and they transplanted the dental pulp stem cells from the humans into the spinal cord of these mice, along with a variety of growth factors and things that are needed. The cocktail of things, and it replaced their damaged motor neurons.
That's crazy, from humans.
So
is there no risk of host rejection of that type of thing?
What they do, there is, but they do a lot of things where they'll irradiate the bone marrow and like make the immune system so it doesn't like respond to the foreign stuff. There's all these crazy things they do for that.
Wow.
But the other cool thing is that in Italy, they did the first clinical trial where they took the dental pulp stem cells from the extracted tooth and they regenerated bone in the person.
Oh.
So, these studies have been coming out. They're relatively new. So anyways, I was like, I'm all about it. So then I looked up, companies that potentially could bank my teeth.
Yeah.
And I found a couple of companies that I had thought were pretty trustworthy. Most of them.
I had a sign at an intersection, like, call now, banking.
Most of them were like, they had already been doing the cord blood. So it's like they're doing the cord blood and they've been doing it for like 40 years. And they're also doing now the teeth. Huh. And so what they do is they'll send your oral surgeon a kit, which is essentially like a balanced saline solution. Yeah. And the oral surgeon will take out your wisdom teeth and put it in this saline solution, send it back to them, and then they will cryopreserve the tooth in liquid nitrogen. Well, they do a little bit of manipulation, but not much. They don't want to take out the stem cells until you actually need them. So that it's good. I did all this reading on the procedure, and I'm like, let me talk to your cell biologist. I want to see what your procedure is. And I figured out, okay, these guys are doing it right because I, looked through the way it's supposed to be done. Anyways, it was about $625 for the whole thing. Yeah, and then it's $125 a year. And my husband he had to have one of his wisdom teeth removed, so he banked his. Yeah. Primary teeth are a really great source of kids. They have even more dental pulp stem cells in their teeth that you just throw away.
Oh, wow. So if your kids are losing teeth, parents, get yourselves a balanced saline solution. So wait, what did you say?
StemSave is one of the companies, and then there's National Dental Pulp Laboratory. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
StemSave's more memorable. What was the other one?
National Pulp Dental Laboratory. Yeah. I actually went with them just because I spoke to their cell biologist and went through the whole. All right. I went through the whole. I'm sure they were irritated with me.
Where are they based?
They're in New England. Area. So.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
So.
In Boston somewhere with all the biotech.
Yep. So cool stuff, right?
Yeah.
But the other cool thing is the reprogramming part, what I was talking about, where they can take your skin cells.
Yeah.
They can even take.
What is the difference, just to start interjecting, between the modifier mesenchymal and the modifier pluripotent? Because they seem to indicate the same thing. Are they different?
Yeah, so pluripotent, mesenchymal is like the part of this origin of the cell where it came from. Pluripotent means, like, for example, if you have a bone marrow cell, bone marrow can form like blood cells. They can form your red blood cells, white blood cells. You know, they have a distinct limit to the type of cells they can form. Multipotent means you can actually form multiple different types of cells. So you can take a multipotent stem cell and you can form heart cells, you can form liver cells, you can form blood cells. Totipotent means, Wikipedia people. So,
right.
You know. Anyways, the cool thing is...
And then mesenchymal.
Oh, the mesenchymal just means the type of tissue that it came from, like, you know, the origin...
People use mesenchymal and pluripotent interchangeably, which is why I'm trying to figure.
No.
They do not. So,
no,
all right.
I don't think they do.
Okay.
Yeah, mesenchymal.
I'm not saying the people who know what they're talking about do.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying you've heard people.
I've heard people use them interchangeably.
No, that's not interchangeable.
All right.
No.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
good to know.
Yeah, they're wrong.
All right, got it.
Brought a good question up with the pluripotent, multipotent, because actually, what's really cool now is that we can take a cell, a skin cell that's terminally differentiated. I mean, fibroblasts, they're not stem cells.
Yeah.
And people have figured out, actually, I think his name is Shinya Yamanaka.
Sounds Japanese.
Japanese. Now, he was in Kyoto, Japan, when he first made this discovery in 2006. It was a freaking game changer, in my opinion. It looks super cool.
Well, I'm guessing most countries outside the U.S. are far beyond us in research, just due to sort of
the funding,
legislative and regulatory issues that lead then to funding issues.